Hello, this is Gavin Young.
Hi, my name is Jack Myers.
Hey, I'm Greg Carr II. We are
One.
Mike.
Trio.
Alrighty, guys, we are on episode 6. We're on the second hump to get to 10 episodes. We're almost double digits.
Almost had it, Jack. So close.
It's
So
fine.
close.
So close.
I said
Almost.
12, but, it's 10. We're almost a double digit podcast, and that's pretty exciting. And also, guys, we are now on Spotify for those who don't know. So if you guys want to also go listen to podcasts rather on there than YouTube, but still also subscribe to the YouTube, because we're still on the road to 100 subscribers.
I will say that the first 2 episodes are not on Spotify. That is my fault.
Dang
I
it, Kevin.
can't get the videos to download correctly to be posted on Spotify.
Boo.
So, if you've seen the first 2
Boo.
episodes, just know you have a little piece of the YouTube forever history because I don't think they'll ever make it on Spotify.
That's fine.
We'll see though.
That just means you have to subscribe.
Never say never.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But 3 episodes are on Spotify right now.
Right.
And if
Alright.
you're listening to this, 4 episodes are on Spotify. If you're listening to this on Spotify.
Yeah, true. All right, Greg, interesting fact.
Beautiful. Interesting fact of the day. The Barbie doll's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts from Willows, Wisconsin. Her birthday is March 9th, 1959, when she was first displayed at the New York Toy Fair. So there's a little toy history for you.
Well done. I didn't know that, so.
I'm glad that you told me that. Yeah, I really needed that information.
It's interesting. Especially with the upcoming Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling.
I'm so excited. And also to Trisha Paytas's baby, Malibu Barbie. Nice to know.
Alrighty, let's get into the first topic of the day. Obviously, sports. So we had a pretty good amount of, I'd say, upsets, but also non-surprising, I guess, wins, you could say, for some teams. We can start it off. Obviously, we did Thursday's game, Commanders and Bears last time. No shock, really, in my opinion. Just 2 bad teams playing. One of them had to win. Commanders won it. That was it.
Carson Wentz.
I know, but let's get into the other games. All right, Giants over Ravens, 24-20. Are the Giants really this legit this year? I mean, I know they're 5-1, but it's crazy to think how much Saquon Barkley has changed that team. And Daniel Jones has not been playing bad. I think he's become more confident in his arm, which I think we're seeing a lot more. Because I remember the other game, not this game, but the past game, his hand was bleeding, and he was still literally throwing dimes because his nickname is Danny Dimes. So I'm surprised, and honestly, I'm happy for Giants Nation because they have not been good for a while.
Yeah, it's... I don't know I honestly don't know what to say about the Giants. They have pleasantly surprised me.
Their defense is looking pretty good.
The defense is looking solid.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is looking confident.
Yeah, and even with the small amount of throws he has been doing, he still is completing a good percentage of them.
And Saquon is running like a man possessed.
Yeah, and also that receiving core is pretty hurt. Obviously, we're starting Shepard out for the whole season, but they're making it work. They're 5-1. They're right there on the Eagles' tail. So yeah, good for you, Giants. Good for you guys, and for Giants fans, props to you guys.
Yep.
But let's talk about the Ravens side. Are the Ravens the most overrated team this year?
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It's crazy to think that they're. They're 3-3 still. They're still 3-3.
They're a 500 team.
But you think about it, they don't have the best receiving core. Their defense is hurt. Their team is hurt, and I can understand that.
And their quarterback is overrated.
I will give him a little bit of props in the last 2 games because I don't think it's totally his fault, but he's not clutching games. That's the problem. He's not stepping up to clutch. He had an interception and a fumble in this game that threw the game away because they should have won this game, and Lamar Jackson is the reason why they lost this game. But besides that, him and Mark Andrews, he needs to throw to his wide receivers more than just his tight ends because Mark Andrews is great.
Yes.
And yes, it works well, obviously, for some teams, throwing to just your tight end. There's teams you can list, obviously, but,
right.
You need to throw your receivers. I know they're not the best. They're younger, but Devin Duvernay is not a bad receiver. He's a pretty speedy guy.
He's solid.
Obviously, they did sign Deshaun Jackson, which I kind of like because, it's like a no harm, no foul type of signing. He could work, which is great. And if he doesn't, he's only signed for like a year. So you can just let him go at the end of the year. So I think it was a good, nice little signing for them. And I think the Ravens they're playing they just need to clutch up games. Lamar Jackson needs to get into clutch time.
And my friend Will, who has Lamar Jackson at the quarterback spot in our fantasy league, bro, he's not delivering for you. He's overrated. I'll say that. He's overrated, but I'll move on.
Yeah. All right. Colts versus Jaguars, 34-27. I told you Matt Ryan could have some games. I told you he could have some games where he just surprises
against
us.
the Jaguars.
But the Jaguars have had some pretty surprising. I will say they haven't won most of their games, but they're scoring points.
The Jaguars.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, you got to admit Matt Ryan.
34-27.
You got to admit Matt Ryan. That was his best game this season, and they deserved that one with how good he played.
I will admit that. I will admit that.
I really think if they're not a playoff team, they'll at least be. I think they'll be 9-7-1. If they're not, I think in the AFC, I think a lot of teams are gonna have to be 10+ wins.
Yeah.
But I think Colts still have a good chance to be a positive winning team, and I'm not gonna count them out. Jaguars, I wanted you to be so good. There was promise in the first couple games. Travis Etienne has taken the reins of the running back position, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like him and Trevor Lawrence playing because they have a lot of good chemistry. Yeah. So I really think the Jaguars are still going in the right direction.
Right.
Obviously, they look like they could be a 6-11 or 7-10 team still because they still have that offensive talent, but the defense obviously needs some work. They've had some hits blown to them, but overall, this was not a boring game. This was a pretty good game. Matt Ryan had his game.
I still can't believe that. I expected Matt Ryan to choke this one away.
He's got a little bit left in him, just a little bit. I think he's got one more season if possible, and that's it.
I think this is the last season for sure.
It could be, but
I think this might be his farewell.
Yeah, but if it is, Matt Ryan, you've had a pretty solid career. Not obviously the best, but a pretty solid career.
Solid career. You reached the Super Bowl.
You reached it. A lot of people can't say they've done that.
A lot of people said they can't.
So, all right, Patriots versus Browns, 38-15. Patriots take this game. Bailey Zappi
might just be the new Tom Brady.
It's the Cooper Rush effect right now. These quarterbacks that we just don't really pay attention to are just outperforming the starters.
I'm telling you, Bailey Zappi just might be the new Tom Brady.
I think the hopes that the way that Bailey Zappi's been playing is the hope that Patriots fan had for Mac Jones, and Bailey Zappi is performing.
Bailey Zappi is, yeah.
Now I'll say this still. That running game also is a big factor for the Patriots in this win. Bailey Zappi played good, but Ramon Stevenson, amazing. Damien Harris, still, he's injured, but he was amazing when he was playing. We got to give credit to Bill Belichick with what he's doing with this offense and this new quarterback, because without Bill Belichick, this team probably would not be where they are.
I mean,
you got to give credit to him. He's a top 5 coach of all time.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, for sure.
He's top 5.
Oh, for sure. If not, he's the best.
Yeah, I would even say, because I don't know much about the old coaches, so I don't want to put that into the air because I don't know much about coaches, but definitely top 5.
I'd say top, being able to coach Tom Brady to how many Super Bowl appearances and how many Super Bowl wins. Mm-hmm. I think he's the best,
and his defenses, he's always a top 10 defense.
Defense is always a mad key with him.
He can find hidden gems in people.
Yes,
which is great, and a couple coaches can do that. He's only a couple handful of coaches because it's him, Andy Reid, and I'm trying to think of others because I know there's a couple other coaches that do those things. So those two, my top 2 coaches, my top 2. But I think Andy Reid, yeah, those are my top 2. And that's surprising me saying that as a Chiefs fan, putting Bill Belichick there, but. He's if he's not still the best, then
309 yards passing, 2 TDs.
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi just might be the next big thing.
Yep. Browns, Nick Chubb still playing great. Jacoby Brissett, that backup quarterbackness is showing in him, but this Browns team is still not terrible. I seriously believe that when they have. Yes, Nick Chubb was only held to 56 yards, but still, he got 56 yards.
Yeah.
You can't say anything bad about it. Kareem Hunt, that was, I think, the big difference maker. Kareem Hunt didn't get going. They just went to the passing game more. But Amari Cooper, still looking great. Njoku, great. Peoples-Jones is starting to come alive. I think if the Browns keep playing like this, they're not going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're a bad team. I just don't think they have the right quarterback still.
Yeah. I think the quarterback situation in Cleveland has been really bad for a really long time, and they've just fought. Well, I won't say really bad for a really long time. Baker did give them some playoff hope. Some.
He did.
But now that he's gone, Cleveland's back to square one. And I don't see them getting back on track anytime soon.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to probably fall into, like, the Texans, like...
They might have a slow...
They're definitely going to have a... They're going to definitely have a slump.
If they keep playing like this, they're not going to make the playoffs. But Deshaun Watson, if he comes back and he plays well, they have something to look forward to next season, which is great.
Yeah.
So
the question is, can the Browns hold it down long enough for Deshaun to come back?
I think ceiling, they could be... He comes back, it's week 11. They're 2-4 right now. I think they could be 5. I think they have potential to be 5-6. And then maybe Deshaun can lead them to
like a couple more wins.
Yeah, maybe like a 9-8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Still not to make the playoffs, but give you something exciting to look forward to next season, which is good. Steelers versus Buccaneers, 20-18. All I'm gonna say about this game is I don't understand what's wrong with that defense. You're so talented. How did you give up 20 to the Steelers? But I will say that I don't know. But also there seems to be a little bit of frustration on the offensive side. Tom Brady cussing out his offensive line, which okay, you know what? Every once in a while, some people need that. But like, I was just surprised because I didn't think. I mean. I don't know. Defense has been iffy, and so is the offense. But they're not a bad team still. I still believe the Buccaneers could be, if not like the top seed in theirs, they're going to be at least top wild card, like the 4th if they're not, or like the 5th if not, they don't win their division. So. I'm not going to count the Bucs out yet. I don't count Tom Brady.
Don't ever count out Tom Brady.
I might not like Tom Brady, but I'm not counting him out ever. That's the respect I have for him still as a quarterback.
I'll watch him win the Super Bowl. I don't.
You got to go against the Eagles, so.
The Eagles aren't the real deal. They're paper. They're good on paper. They don't do it as often as they do.
We'll talk about that.
We'll get to that. But all I'm going to say on this whole Tom Brady situation is he's going through a lot right now. There's not much he can really do. I mean, with the problems he's having on the field and the problems he's also having off the field with his split with his wife. Like it's affecting his game, and that's understandable. But do not count out Tom Brady. Yeah, that is all I will say.
I will say they're also. It doesn't look like. I don't know. I guess Julio Jones is out, but they're obviously struggling with their wide receiver core, except outside of Mike Evans and
Chris Godwin.
Because they're also relying on Leonard Fournette to bring in big yards for them. But you got Trubisky. I just wanted to make that joke. It's funny. Don't worry, you're gonna be a playoff team. It's not. This isn't gonna hold you back.
Lost to Mitch Trubisky. Next team, next score.
Okay, Falcons versus 49ers. Falcons put up 28-14 against the 49ers, the top 3 defense in the league. I mean,
Marcus Mariota
is still a serviceable quarterback. I never thought he was a terrible quarterback.
No.
Obviously, his game is not what you want, I think.
He's not like elite, but he's also not a scrub.
He's a system quarterback.
He's a system quarterback. And if he's placed in the right system, your team and your franchise will benefit from it.
I think his arm needs to be a little bit better because you have such talent in Pitts and London. Obviously, he's still distributing the ball, but I like how he's using his feet. When he knows he can't throw it, he is at least using his feet, which is what you should do if you're a scrambling quarterback and known for scrambling. 49ers, obviously, they're still struggling with their offense. I think
especially with this whole Jimmy G situation.
I don't think the offense is doing a good job with it.
No.
I think they're frustrated, and Jimmy G is also frustrated as well. He's trying to play his best, but I think they've just given up on Jimmy G, and Jimmy G's trying to give them everything, but I don't think... I think the team loves Jimmy G still. I think management does not like Jimmy G.
Management does not. They think Trey Lance is their guy.
And that's the problem, is that he went down. You have to put your faith in him, and I feel like Jimmy's feeling that, and that's why he's not performing well.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a factor. Mental health is a factor when it comes to football. It is.
Yes, it is. So, he did throw 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions.
Yep.
So
he's not bad.
He's not bad.
He's just, I think he's timid.
I think people just need to have a little more faith in him, and he'll perform a little bit better.
Jets 27 or Packers 10.
Woo!
Packers are they're not a great. They have a young receiving core. They definitely.
I'm just gonna say this: Aaron Rodgers, you get what you sow. You reap what you sow.
I mean, I just can't. I mean, Jets have a great defense. I think that's what's carrying them. I think Zach Wilson is fitting better in the system. I think he's more confident coming into year 2.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I think they obviously, Braxton Berrios is a very good guy. Like a Taysom Hill, you can use him anywhere, which is kind of nice. And Garrett Wilson will come into his own. It's a young team who has got a really good defense, and the offense will build over time. They're 4-2. I think that's not going to really hold up very well, but who knows? We're seeing the Giants and Jets. We're seeing the New York teams take off finally in football the same year. And you know what? I'm here for it.
I am here for it. I would just like to shout out this random breakout guy who had the game of his life against the Packers. Breece Hall, 116 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Yeah, he is a younger guy. He's a younger running back. He's taking over from Michael Carter, which I kind of like.
Yes, he played absolutely out of his mind. He had 20 carries.
Yeah.
He had 20 carries.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the same thing with the Etienne thing. It was James Robinson who was taking percentage, and now it's flipped. And that's the same thing for Michael Carter and Breece Hall.
New York football fans,
it's fun.
You have something to look forward to.
That's great.
Yeah.
Vikings over Dolphins 24-16. They're getting Tua back in week 7. I think it's a little too early.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's good too, but Dolphins aren't making the best decisions, obviously, and I think their fan base is sick of this. So, personally, if I'm a Dolphins fan, I'd rather have my quarterback sit out the year to make sure he's 100% okay than putting him in. I know they say he's okay, but we don't know.
Personally, if I'm a fan of Tua in general,
you want him to play, but you don't want to risk it.
I'd want him to retire.
It's the Andrew Luck situation.
It's the injuries. Okay, like he took 2 very massive hits in the same week.
Yep.
An alleged back injury, right? And then he played again that same week and got laid out. Let me just lay out an image for you right here, Jack. Mm-hmm. He was on the ground after that second hit, right?
Yep.
His fingers were immobile. They were crossed.
Yep.
They were crossed. That never happens after like a normal hit.
Yep.
He had to be carted off, stretchered off, right?
It was hard to watch. I watched it.
And if you rush this recovery, you risk your life.
Yep.
So forget about football for a second.
Yeah.
Tua is risking his life if he goes back into the game.
He could be. He might as well be. It's crazy.
Because that was maybe he suffered 2 major concussions in the same week. Mm-hmm. Maybe he suffered 2. We don't know because that staff is incompetent. We all know this.
Yep.
But if me personally, I'm saying this right now, I think Tua should retire.
I think
he should do what's best for him and retire. Because if he rushes this, one more bad hit to him,
and he's done.
He's done. He's not only done with football, he could be done.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to see. That offensive line needs to protect him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's all I got on that, man. Yeah. Sorry to get so deep on you, but
Vikings though, very surprising. Justin Jefferson is him.
Kirk Cousins.
Hey, Kirk Cousins. Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook is coming back.
Yeah.
The top 3 teams at the end of the season, if it's 6 to it, is Vikings, Eagles, and Giants. That is, you don't think that coming into week 7, we would say that.
No.
But they're doing it. I heard someone say that they had Vikings going all the way, and honestly, from how Justin Jefferson's playing and how that team is finally coming together, it could damn possibly well be the Vikings.
I mean, they are 5-1.
They are 5-1. There's 3 teams who have 5+ wins in the NFC. The NFC is like top loaded right now.
This is good football we're seeing.
It's great.
I think this is probably one of the best seasons of recent memory.
Yeah,
for sure.
Anyone can win. This season shows that anyone can win.
It's just about who wants it more.
Yep. Rams versus Panthers. Rams versus the Panthers.
Okay.
Robbie Anderson, that whole situation. Robbie Anderson is just not as good to be acting like he is. He's a pompous windbag. I don't like him.
Wow.
And I think he's overrated.
Wow.
He's the biggest talking overrated receiver in the league. And I'll say that. I think we're not going to see a difference on him than the Cardinals, except that he's going to get more targets, and then he's just going to get like 50 or 40 every game. That's my personal opinion. I think he's a decent wide receiver, but he's definitely a wide receiver 3 or 2 at best. He's not a wide receiver 1. He's not going to prove it because he's going against D-Hop, and when Marquise Brown comes back, he's going to be the third receiver.
He's going to be wide receiver 3.
He's going to be wide receiver 3, and he's not going to get as many, and he's probably going to complain again. So, I don't know.
But look at it this way. He's going to be in a better situation than he was in Carolina.
I mean, Cardinals are also 2-4. So,
I mean, like, granted, the Cardinals aren't the best right now because Kyler Murray can only focus on Call of Duty and not a regular football game. But I don't know. Once D-Hop comes back, we'll see.
D-Hop is still very talented, but obviously he's going to be a little bit rusty coming out of the gate. Here's my thing. It's crazy to me that he's yelling at the interim head coach.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting on the interim head coach? This is his first head coaching game, and you're getting on him against last year's Super Bowl contenders. Like, not winners. Champions. So
Super Bowl champions.
Why are you complaining to your interim coach in a game like that? You're not obviously going to win. Because that Rams defense is top 5.
And the Panthers are awful.
Yeah.
They're awful. They're 1-5.
Both of your top 2 quarterbacks are now both injured.
They're both injured, and they weren't good to begin with.
Yeah, but like, did you expect your team to be the Super Bowl contenders this year? No, no one expected them. No, I'm talking about the Panthers.
Oh. I'm
talking about Robbie Anderson. He expects all these big things, and I'm like, dude, this is a process. You don't just win in your first
year. You have to trust the process. You have to buy in.
Yeah, you have to. But he's going to the Cardinals, who have one more win than the Panthers. We'll see how it goes. Congrats to you, Rams. 3-3. You guys are coming back a little bit.
They're 500. Yada yada yada. I'll say this right now: the Rams are overrated, and they won't be going back to the Super Bowl anytime soon.
I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't know if they're going to make it all the way back.
Absolutely not. That was a Cinderella story.
I mean.
Okay, I take that back. The Bengals were a Cinderella story.
Yeah, Bengals were
The Rams were a solid team that had a goal in mind, and they wanted to win then and now.
They're on the Super Bowl high.
And they did it. And they're on the Super Bowl high, and they're going to crash and burn. I already see it.
So we have 4 games left. Seattle over Cardinals. I'm not going to be very much into this one because it was kind of a boring game. Geno Smith is him. He's playing good, and he beat the Cardinals as they should have because I think they're the better team.
Geno Smith is him. He has the Seahawks being 3-3 right now.
Yeah, that's not bad at all because no one expected that. I see the Seahawks. I don't want to say they're going to have a winning record because I don't know the rest of it, but I could say they could make 10-7 possibly.
10-7.
That's their ceiling, but I think that's going to be like a 7-10 team.
Who would have thought that Geno Smith would take the reins from Russell Wilson and do better than him?
Well, Russell Wilson has been underperforming, but I also think that coaching staff does not know how to use Russ at all.
All right, moving on.
Okay, Bills over Chiefs. I'm not mad about this.
I'm so stoked that the Bills beat the Chiefs.
I'm going to say this. We're a younger team now. Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to explain it like this. Patrick Mahomes came to a system that was old, and he had to play at the level he did because he was playing back up to Alex Smith, who already put big, like he had some big accomplishments on that Chiefs team, even though they never won anything. He still led them to some pretty great wins. Now we're rebuilding. This is a younger team and a very young defense, might I add you. Nick Bolton's only in his 2nd season, and he's one of the best linebackers right now. He's a very underrated at least. And yeah, I was expecting to lose this game. But the fact that we only lost by 4, that's kind of embarrassing for the Bills.
What?
I think the Bills should have dominated our defense, and they didn't. Obviously, there were some mistakes by the offense, like McKenzie with that fumble. I'll give them that. But I don't think anyone should be counting out the Chiefs. Josh Allen's in a system where he should be succeeding because he is the best team around him. He's not the best quarterback, in my opinion.
Oh, whoa.
He's not the best quarterback.
Okay,
he's only the best quarterback because of his team. He's still a top 5. Don't get me wrong, he's top 3. He's at least, he's number 2.
Number 2's one.
Patrick Mahomes is number 1.
Absolutely not.
He's the best quarterback in the game.
Absolutely not.
Josh
if he was the
Allen-
best quarterback in the game, he would have beat the Bills. Plain and
He only
simple.
lost by 4.
He would have beat the Bills. Hey, it doesn't matter if you win by 1, 2, 3, or 4. Josh Allen got it done. Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback in the game right now.
He has the best team around him. He's not the number 1.
He is definitely the number 1.
I say it because he's got a better team.
Oh my gosh.
He has the number 1 defense and offense in the league, and he only won by 4 to the Chiefs. That's why I'm like, I don't, because he's not.
Allen is him.
Also, he's not. He doesn't have any big accolades yet, and that's why I still give it to Mahomes over at Josh Allen, because Mahomes has the accolades. And Josh Allen, but he has the MVP.
He has 1 Super Bowl. Josh Allen is going to get the MVP
and a Super Bowl MVP.
Josh Allen may or may not get both this year if he runs into Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Well, it's probably going to be not Tom Brady if they keep playing the way they do.
Shut your mouth. Listen, I'm an avid Tom Brady fan, but my top 3 goes as follows: Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Simple.
I can understand it, but if we're looking at the talent that each team has, if we're looking at the talent,
that's insane to me.
Do you know they have the same amount of, I think, touchdowns and interceptions right now? That's what I'm saying. But here's my thing: Josh Allen this year is the best quarterback in the best position, and I give the Bills credit for what they're doing, because they should win it all this year, in my opinion.
I'll give you 3 reasons why they'll win it all this year.
Number 1,
Josh
defense.
Allen, right? That's 1. 2, Stephon Diggs. 3, Von Miller. Those are 3 players right there that will win you a Super Bowl.
Also, can we talk about how the Chiefs freed up $3.5 million cap space the other day?
What?
They freed up cap space because they restructured Kelsey's contract.
Oh, so
Odell
is coming to the Bills. Odell is coming to the Bills.
But hey, whatever happens, I'm not mad about this loss. I still like the Bills. I still think the Bills are a good team, and I hope that they do what they do. But I'm not embarrassed by that loss at all. I'm
Chiefs
really not as a
should
Chiefs
be
fan.
Shout out to my girlfriend who is a Chiefs fan. How unfortunate for you. That is all I have to say.
At least we didn't lose the Steelers and Mitch Trubisky.
Anyway, we're gonna move on.
This is great because we can just bounce each other off. Eagles versus Cowboys.
Cooper Rush.
3 interceptions.
Cooper Rush lost.
3
I can't
interceptions.
believe it. I thought he was gonna be the one to beat Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
That defense of the Eagles is so underrated.
Oh my gosh.
But like I said, I think the Eagles have the chance to go 17-0 because they don't have a great schedule.
They are not going 17-0. Somebody's gonna sneak them.
Yeah.
Somebody will sneak them.
And then let's get into this last game. Chargers versus Broncos. Boring. Justin Herbert obviously still dealing with that injury.
Still can't believe the Broncos lost.
I
can't believe it.
I'm a little surprised because I think in the first half, Russ Wilson was playing like Russell Wilson, and then the offensive coaching staff was like, okay, we can just play to hold the lead. And that's the problem. Coaches need to stop holding for the lead. Let's play some college football and just run the score up. Like, please. You know how exciting the league would be if coaches did that? I understand they can't do it all the time, but you know how exciting the league would be? That's all I gotta say. But I'm done with sports. So, if you're done, then let's get right into the theater.
Hold on. I gotta poke fun at these Broncos fans really fast. Broncos country, let's cry. That's all I have to say.
Alrighty, Gavin, you're leading us into the theater talk.
All right. So, as you guys heard me talk about last week, the musical K-pop did start previews. And let me just tell you how excited I am. Because yesterday morning, they performed on Good Morning America. And I have never in my life got so much dopamine and serotonin from watching one performance of literally one song of a group of people that are not always represented on Broadway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of joy that it gave me to watch them perform was next level. It was next level. Anyone that has seen this performance, you cannot tell me that you did not leave that performance being like, that was probably the cutest thing I've ever seen.
You definitely need to show me that tomorrow or sometime.
Yes.
Whenever you get to my house, and like if you get there first.
The literal song that they sang was called "This Is My Korea."
You guys are going to the orchard.
Yes. That's our weekend plans.
Yeah, I
though.
was about to say they're making plans on the podcast in front of me.
This was already made like 2 weeks ago.
I know we did talk about it. That was a callback to those early listeners. Continue, Gavin. So
Oh
sorry.
my lord. But yes, and it's so beautiful. And also, like, I was reading up on the cast list because I was recognizing a few people that I've seen in other shows, and his name is Zachary Noah Pizer. I think that's how you say his name. He was the first Asian American to play Evan in Dear Evan Hansen, and he just left the show August 7th. Obviously, the show's closed now, but like, this is like why I'm so excited that next year I'm actually gonna go be in this world. I gotta do professional theaters, because stuff like this, like it boggles my mind that we're in the 21st century, or we're in 2022, and we have not had this like much of Asian culture be seen on a Broadway stage before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy.
I mean, you're right. You're right. But I'm only thinking of the bare minimum right now, and that's very sad.
Yeah,
Because the only thing that comes to mind when we talk about Asian culture in Broadway theater
is The King and I and
Miss
Miss
Saigon.
Saigon. That's it.
That
And
makes
those
me
both
so
shows
upset.
are so sad.
They are really sad.
So that's why I am so
Granted-
amped up for this show.
Granted, Miss Saigon did give us the amazing star that is Miss Eva Noblezada.
Of course. I mean,
So-
and it's not to degrading any of those shows. Like,
Yeah.
they're amazing in their own right, but
But that can't be it.
no.
That literally can't be it.
It's crazy how there's so much talent from like how many people are so talented in Asian culture that we haven't had something like this, and now we're just getting it. But I think this is a good step towards bigger things.
Absolutely.
I think it is.
I'm excited because I love a lot of things about Asian culture in general, like Korean culture and like all that stuff. I love like a lot of Korean I watch Korean like TV shows and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I love that stuff, and I'm really
I love
happy.
K-dramas.
I'm so happy.
Shout out to my favorite webtoon, True Beauty. Love that.
But yeah, and like, the show had just, like, it's the 19th, and they literally just started previews on the 13th. So, like, not a lot of reviews are out right now, but everything that came out in 2017 when it was on its off-Broadway run, it was amazing.
Right.
So, I'm just, like, overly excited for this
Yeah,
show.
as you should be. I mean, it's amazing.
So excited for it.
Well,
But yeah.
I also have more news in the theater world. I know I personally have reiterated it a lot, but sadly, Kennedy Center's all-star run of Guys and Dolls finished its run on October 16th, and I'm so upset because I've seen highlights from the show on YouTube, and this show deserves a Broadway revival. That is all I have to say. Jesse Mueller, James Monroe Iglehart, Philippa Sue, Stephen Pascal, Kevin Chamberlain, freaking Kevin Chamberlain as Nicely Johnson. I'm upset that this won't get a transfer to Broadway. I mean, I get that the Broadway season for 2022, 2023 has already been like laid out for a while. But I felt like we could have made the exception for this one because we've heard nothing but rave reviews about it, even though it was a limited run. The only thing I really would have wanted if I didn't get a transfer for this show was a recording. At least a recording.
Yeah.
At least. Because they sounded fantastic in the highlights.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But congratulations to the cast of Guys and Dolls at the Kennedy Center. You guys were phenomenal.
Perfect.
Yes.
To add a little bit more into, this is kind of goes back into K-pop, but like other things. Title of this headline says, Lea Michele in Funny Girl continues to bring in audiences. And then it's like the breakdown of gross incomes and capacities for every show.
Oh no.
Now, income for Funny Girl, Not top 5 nor bottom 5.
What? So it's mid?
Yep, it's mid. But in capacity, it's number 4.
Huh?
Yeah. With 100.36% of their capacity is used. So they overbook every show.
But
at least within this past
But they're not
section.
top 4 and not bottom 4.
Of income, no. That show's big.
I mean, that show is big. But wow. And
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. What did that article say? Because it mentioned.
What do you mean?
It mentioned Leah Michele. Say that to me one more time.
It continues to bring in audiences.
That
Because
we-
it wasn't Leah
Like
Michele.
Essence.
Because I guess Beanie's
Departure.
capacity was not
it was not-
good.
No.
And
Julie
only brought it up by so much, but obviously Leah Michele would bring it up, surpass anything that anyone else could have done.
I have mixed reactions about that. I do.
I mean, I just don't really care for Leah.
I
also
also
watched their performance on Good Morning
Good Morning
America, and I was like, okay. I literally was just kind of like, this
In
is
all honesty,
Glee.
I would've
Like,
been-
I
I would've
literally
been-
just watched Glee.
I would have been better. I would have been better seeing Julie perform
Yes.
on Good Morning America than Leah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, like, we get it. She's the marquee star.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
However, understudies and standbys sing Broadway sings at Bryant Park all the time, and they absolutely murder it.
Yes.
So, I mean, I get Julie has her own stuff going on now. I get that she's a star. I get that she is a bona fide star right now, but
Oh, of
I feel like
course.
we're just pushing the Leah Michele agenda like too much.
I just think, because, like, I've seen a lot of social media things being like, Leah Michelle's, like, a different person. And I'm like, okay. And then people will get mad at, like, the Glee cast or, like, other people that have worked with her, and they're like, no, she's awful.
No,
And they're like, well, you, like, can't say that because she's changed. And I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
people can change,
Yeah,
but their
people-
trauma's
but-
still there.
Yeah, the trauma's still there.
Like, I'm, like, sitting here, I'm like, I still don't like her. I don't
Apparently
care.
there's a Glee documentary in the works.
A what?
There's a Glee documentary in the works. Like
I wouldn't be surprised.
A behind the scenes look, and I cannot wait to see it.
I don't see a lot of the people in Glee doing a lot of film anymore because of it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I would
Yeah.
like to see that. But also, to bring this up, so I'm just going to read you the entire list because I think that this is interesting. So, Frontrunners by gross income is number 1 is Music Man.
Of course, Hugh
With
Jackman
almost-
and Seth Foster.
Yes, with almost $3 million. Hamilton is number 2 with $2 million.
Because Hamilton.
Lion King is number 3 with $1.8 million.
Disney show.
MJ the Musical is $1.75 million.
Tribute to the King of
Wicked
Pop.
is $1.725 million.
Broadway staple.
Now the underdogs. Some of these are not fair because these shows are in previews and they have literally just started. So,
Okay.
but like the fact that they even made like they still made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Still, it's just good.
Hey,
but they're
money is
in
money.
previews.
Yes.
So 1776 is the first one.
Yup.
And it's number 5 from the bottom with only $340,000 of gross income.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's.
Number 4 is Kimberly Akimbo with $300,000. Do you know anything about this show? Because this
What,
show is very interesting.
Kimberly Akimbo.
Yes.
I've seen a few things about it.
It is literally a 72-year-old woman playing a 17-year-old because she has a disease that she ages much faster than a normal person.
Right.
That is such an because like I've heard now snippets of it. It's kind of weird, but like I think it could be an interesting musical. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
It's a concept.
But like you can just hear her having the inflection of a 17-year-old, and you're like, that's not the voice of a 17-year-old, but that's the way they talk.
Uh-huh.
It goes back into our oral interp class. Like
Yes.
she is talking like quite interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of but and also this show is only in previews. It's only had 6 previews.
Yeah.
And it's made $300,000. So
That's solid.
that's solid.
That's
and it's not
solid.
even open.
But it's not open yet.
Exactly.
So-
So like I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay,
It-
could be could be a big thing. Could
Yeah.
be.
Could be.
We'll see.
Could be.
Cost of living is only at $225,000.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Top dog / underdog is only at $220,000.
Oh no! Wait, Gavin, please tell me that's not true. Gavin,
That's what
please,
the Broadway.com results are. Broadway Buzz.
please listen. Listen. Please.
It is exactly
No.
$220,016.
No.
I
But
don't see
Corey
that one.
Hawkins is amazing. But Corey Hawkins is... What's
I
going
don't
on?
know. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
And then at the bottom, they have this is why I'm annoyed, because they've literally only had 3 previews. No, 4 previews as the making of this article. K-pop is at $191,000. They literally just started previews.
Yeah, but
I'm not shocked.
But they're available to, receive revenue from said previews.
Oh, I know.
And that is why they are on that list.
Well,
which
yes,
is unfair.
I know.
Which is unfair.
Which
I
is-
will give you that.
I'm going to wait until they actually open to actually look at their revenue and being like, that's a solid revenue. Or being like, that's not going to go too well. That's not going to go too long.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Now, front runners for capacity, though. Number 1, Phantom of the Opera is at 100.86%.
That's because it's closing. This
Yes.
is a money grab.
We've already talked about my Phantom of the Opera tea and what I think about it. I don't need to go over it again. I just do not care. Go listen to our theater episode from last week.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't.
Yeah,
I don't want to get
we
back
will
into
not go
this.
into
This
that
is
again.
annoying to me. Hamilton is number 2 with 100.64%.
That's because Hamilton is Hamilton.
I was about to say, doesn't surprise me, but they are number 2 in both sections.
Oh, shout
So
out
they
to my
probably-
boy Fergie, who I met at the Muni this past summer, who played Emmett in Legally Blonde. He currently plays Mulligan / Madison in Hamilton. Love you, bro. If you're listening, shout out. Got you, bro.
Of course. And then MJ the Musical is number 3 with 100.42%. Okay.
Solid.
I still don't know how I feel about that musical, but 'tis what it is.
I mean, he won his Tony.
Oh, he did. And I bet it's an amazing show. I just don't really care.
Also, shout out to Quentin Earl Darrington, who was also in MJ the Musical, who I have personally done a workshop with. You are amazing. That is all.
And then Funny Girl is at 100.36. We already went over that. Kind of funny.
Moving.
Not gonna lie.
Kind of funny.
See what I did?
That's a knee slapper.
Yes. Moulin Rouge is number 5 with
Of course.
99.77%.
Of course, Derek Klena is going to bring in people.
Mm-hmm. Did he leave or has he left yet? Because
I don't believe
somebody
Derek
else.
Klena. I don't think Derek Klena has left. Has he?
Or maybe his understudy is also really famous because the guy from Heathers is now.
The Moulin Rouge on the West End.
Oh.
The Moulin Rouge in the West End.
See, I've seen so many videos on TikTok of it.
You were crossing them.
But yes,
over,
okay,
Gavin.
but now also our original JD from the West End is in Moulin Rouge.
Yes.
And he sounded amazing. I was just very confused. I was like, he went
Yes, he's really good.
from West End to here. Okay. I mean, that is a great transfer, but still. Now, underdogs. Number 5 from the bottom, Beetlejuice at 78% of capacity. 1776 at 76.71%. Kind of sad.
Yeah.
The Kite Runner at 72.59%. Greg.
Huh?
Into the Woods at 71.13%.
What?
Second to the bottom of capacity. K-pop and Kimberly Akimbo are above that, with just their 4 to 6 previews. Yup. And
Gavin, let me see that. Give me your. I'm looking at the laptop. No. That has to be wrong. That has to be wrong. Oh my gosh, she's right. Why? What? Broadway, what are you doing? It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
And the one to bottom out the tally is Cost of Living with 61.64%.
That one doesn't surprise me, but Into the Woods, people?
I'm sorry, Greg. I also am kind of surprised that Into the Woods, yes, I love that show, but I was also kind of surprised it's up there for that long.
I mean, I get it. People are coming off of the high because it did amazing in its original run at the New York City Center, and then it got its transfer to Broadway, and we got an entirely new cast, and we got a recording, and we were all high on that.
I still haven't seen that.
It was great. The recording.
I listened to it.
The
Sorry.
recording is phenomenal. Phenomenal. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I get that. But what I don't get is we don't know when we'll ever see Into the Woods again on Broadway.
That is true.
So, theater lovers, go out and see Into the Woods. Please.
If you have the money.
If you have the money. But yeah. So, in other news, this one really shook me to my core. Patti LuPone has reportedly given up her equity card, likely ending her Broadway career. This is unprecedented. Okay, here we go. 3-time Tony Award winner Patti LuPone has given up her membership in the Theatrical Union Actors Equity Association, according to a tweet the company star posted October 17th. And I quote, "Quite a week on Broadway, seeing my name being bandied about. Gave up my equity card, no longer part of that circus, figure it out." End quote. Likely referencing a recent incident that saw a cast member of Broadway's Hadestown, Lilias White, reprimanding an audience member from the stage for filming the performance when she was actually using a captioning device due to hearing loss. LuPone has infamously reprimanded audience members from the stage on at least 2 occasions, stopping a performance of the 2008 revival of Gypsy because of flash photography and physically taking an audience member's in-use cell phone during a performance of off-Broadway shows for days. Wow. Where to begin with this?
I just find it so funny that we talked about Patti last week before she announced that. Oh wait, I think it was we were literally recording it.
We were talking about this incident, and
then it came out. Yes.
Yeah. So
that is. Quite ironic.
Gavin? What do we think about this? Jack, you can weigh in too. But what do we think about this? Because, in my opinion, I kind of agree with Patti here.
About what?
Well, she's been praised for reprimanding audience members for using flash photography and recording the show and all that stuff. Like, she has done that, right? And because she's Patti LuPone. Lilias White did that, was misunderstood, and now she's getting backlash for it. However, Patti LuPone has received praise for it. So Lilias White is getting flack for a misunderstanding, but Lilias White can get flack for a misunderstanding, but Patti LuPone can get praise for stopping a show. But I get she's Patti LuPone, but that's unprecedented. Stopping a show, like, that's a stage manager's worst nightmare. Stopping a show and reprimanding an audience member right there on the spot. I think Patti LuPone made it perfectly clear where she stands on the incident, and I agree with her.
Question: Was the person that Patti LuPone? Obviously, I don't know much about Patti LuPone. I know she's a big star in the theater world, and I know that. Was the person actually recording the person she reprimanded? Were they actually recording it?
Yes,
most likely, yeah.
They were. They brought on record saying.
And obviously, the person that Lilias White, it was something that because they couldn't. Was it they couldn't?
They were hard of hearing.
They were hard of hearing. Okay. So, I think, and this is just my mind, and I'm gonna try to go into this without, saying the wrong thing, even though it probably will happen, possibly. So, obviously, in my mind, it's obviously a lot worse for Lilias White because it was someone who was hard of hearing. And for Patti LuPone, it was someone who was trying to, record the show. So it's obviously 2 different situations, and that's the only difference that I'm looking at in it. Obviously, there's people who are going to be overreacting or whatnot, which, that happens. But obviously, some people did take it too far, which, is fair to say that, Patti LuPone, I guess, did what she had to do to support Lilias White, which I'm not going to disagree with. Am I right about that or no? I'm just making sure I'm,
No, that she's doing this out of support.
Yeah, she's doing that
yeah.
as support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, hey, with as big of a name as she is, good for her.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm trying to get mine out because mine's probably not gonna be that big. It was unfortunate that both situations in Patti LuPone she did the right thing, whereas Elias White she thought she was doing the right thing, but it just turned out to be that it was more unfortunate because it was something to help the person, whereas Patti LuPone did it because the other person was doing something illegal.
Right.
So people's reactions, obviously, I feel like she should be more. Obviously, I think like people who are fans of, I guess, Elias White, she should be more mad at the people who are treating Elias White the way they are. I think more than Broadway. I could be wrong about that because, like I said, I don't know much, so I don't want to like overstep my boundaries with what I say.
Yeah.
But obviously, what she did was the correct thing to do. Like what Patti LuPone did, I think was the correct thing to do. So I'm not gonna say she didn't do the wrong thing, but obviously, I think she should be more mad at the fans who are going after Elias White more than what I guess Broadway is doing, because what the people who are going after Elias White I think are more in the wrong to Broadway. But obviously, yes, Broadway needs to fix that. I think maybe instead what Broadway should do is make a section for those people who have disabilities like that, so that way they know, so like an actor like Elias White, that never happened to her again. They should have a section where they're able to do that and they won't get judged and the actors know, so it's better for them and something like that never happens again.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Broadway needs to do to make sure that she does not get flack like that again. I am full support for that because that shit should not happen to anyone, and it's obviously worse for Elias White.
Mm-hmm. For
so
sure.
You know what? That's my case. I think I did a pretty good
No, you did.
percentage.
Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
Gavin, your thoughts?
I just find it funny because, like, I feel like Patti LuPone was already going to retire and not do much more. So it's just kind of like one of those things that, I don't know, publicity?
Who knows? But I stand with Patti LuPone.
Yeah.
I stand with Patti LuPone.
I like that you're...
taking action.
Yeah. I do have a few more left. I'm going to go through them pretty quick because I've realized that this podcast has been a little longer than we usually do, which is
we always
fine.
have to tell you guys our weekend plans.
Exactly.
So we need to get this train moving.
Going to be a little snappy with these last few, but 2 new shows. One coming to Broadway, one just starting.
Ooh.
There is an adaptation of Life of Pi
Oh.
that is happening at Harvard University.
What?
At least, yep. At American Repertory Theater at Harvard University.
ART?
Has announced, yes, has announced their casting of Life is Pi.
I love ART. That's where...
So I'm kind of excited. I really do. I love the movie. I like the story. Guess we'll see.
Fun fact about ART, that was the first stage that had the tryout of Finding Neverland, which originally starred Jeremy Jordan, who was then replaced by Matthew Morrison. Love Finding Neverland. Continue.
Perfect. The next show that I am not excited for at all.
Dang.
This is a West End transfer.
A West End transfer?
Yes.
Of what?
The Great British Bake Off musical.
What the? What? Wait, hold up.
Please tell me that makes no sense to why it's a musical. It's like a parody of Waitress, is what I'm getting.
Great British
Bake Off.
I can't
the
even
TV
I
show.
can't even say it correctly because
Mhm.
I'm so flabbergasted that this is happening.
We should just not give it attention and just speed past it.
You know what? It doesn't deserve our attention.
I agree. It doesn't deserve my breath.
Our
It does not
attention.
deserve my breath.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay, two more.
Okay, and then I have one more thing for you.
Okay.
I think you'll be
Might
excited.
have the same one.
Go.
Okay, I'm gonna say the one before it because I don't think this is the same one.
All right.
So after Cinderella has closed on West End,
Yeah.
they're actually doing a production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, so the OG Cinderella. So West End will have that, and Grace Mout. I forgot to say her name, but I do. She's from Six. Wonderful actress. She was also in Anne Juliet. She will be playing Cinderella, is what I've understood. So yeah. And then, Greg,
Yes.
say your final one because I want to see if it's the same.
Yes. All right. I just had to confirm it, but Miss Michelle Williams
Oh.
of Destiny's Child stars in Children of Eden's concerts in Chicago starting October 15th, which was a couple of days from where we are now recording. But
I've seen a lot of people from that on
she
TikTok.
is playing both Eve and Mama Noah in the Broadway aimed production. So listen, already, this show is slated to get a Broadway transfer, and Michelle Williams as Eve and Mama Noah, I would pay money to go see, for sure, without a single doubt in my mind, for sure. But yes, that is what I wanted to share because, Michelle Williams doesn't get enough love.
Of course.
She does not get enough love.
Of course.
She's a valid theater artist.
So my final one is that the Brooks Atkinson Theater is getting its name changed to Lena Horne.
I'm not gonna help you.
Please. I don't know how to say his name. I'm really bad with names.
Wait, say it again.
I don't want to say it again because I know it's
no,
wrong.
No. You might say it right.
Lena. I said it right. Okay, so then I did say the first name right the first time. Lena. Don't want to say the wrong last name.
What's the last name?
Horne. Horne. How do you say that?
Horn.
Then I said it right.
Yes.
Thank you. So I said it right the first time. That's mean. So I did say it right. Okay.
Come on, Gavin. We had to have
The
some sort
Lena
of fun.
Horne Theater is coming to Broadway next month. It's getting its name changed November 1st. And it's the House of Six right now, so...
Yes. We love Six. We love Six.
Obsessed with it.
Obsessed
But yes,
with Six.
that is my final theater news.
And
I
that's
think
all
we
my
can...
theater news as well.
Alrighty, then we're up. Then we're at the point where we're going to talk about our weekend plans, but it's more of our fall break plans. We have a 4-day break. So, guys,
excited.
I know we talked about this a little bit before. So, I guess, what's the most fun thing you have for this weekend?
Gavin, please take the floor.
It is one of my best friend's birthdays on Monday.
Would you like to
so,
shout them out?
Claudia, I love you.
Shout out Claudia.
I am going to Mizzou, and I will be there the entire weekend.
Alrighty.
So, party hardy. It's their homecoming weekend.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna have
Gavin is going to
tons
get
and
lit.
tons of fun. Got a lot of outfits to wear. Got a lot of things to do. I'm so excited.
Gavin is going to get lit
Nice.
for sure.
Alrighty,
Yes.
Greg, what's your plans? What's your best plan this week?
Oh, well, unfortunately for me, I still have work on Thursday, so I won't have a complete 4-day weekend, but I will have a 3-day weekend. I'm bidding goodbye to some of my players as they're moving on to the next level, so it's going to be very emotional for me. But on Friday, all the way up until Sunday, I will be taking a trek to Nashville to get my line dancing on. So, also, I'm going to go down and see a friend play quarterback because I've heard he's really good. I'm not going to shout him out because I don't want to blow up his ego, but I'm going to go see him play, and it's going to be so amazing. I already have my boots picked.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, obviously, I'm working Saturday, Sunday, but tomorrow, obviously, Gavin and I got the pumpkin patch, so that's going to be pretty
Yep.
fun. It's going to be a whole day, and then we're going to watch Hocus
Greg, you just
Pocus
said you
in the
worked.
afternoon. Yeah, you did say you worked.
I know.
If you were able to come, we would invite you. But yeah, we're gonna then come to back to my house and probably watch. You probably won't be watching them, but we're gonna start Hocus Pocus 1 and the new one. We're gonna watch that. So
Oh, Hocus Pocus 2?
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty good.
We're gonna watch
I
both
won't
of them.
spoil it, but it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
we got like pumpkin cookies and stuff like that.
Perfect.
So you're gonna have, and then we're obviously gonna get pizza. So we might order pizza, so you could probably get some before you leave. But we don't know if you're gonna have food. So
Wonderful. That's perfectly fine.
yeah, but that's pretty much the biggest thing for mine. Obviously, it's just work and then that. So yeah,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to regale you guys of tales that I embark on in Nashville.
You're telling me.
It's going to be a time. I think Monday might just be a story time.
Yep.
Honestly,
Episode
yeah.
7 story time.
Might be, yeah.
Episode 7 story time.
Yep.
What a time. What a time to be alive. Well, guys, think that's a wrap up for episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was definitely longer than usual.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I think this is going to be fun. I think we're getting in a groove.
Oh,
So,
yeah, definitely.
thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys watch the rest of our episodes. See you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.